Hi, hello everyone. So now we are at generate tests at a implementation session. Let's get on to the implementation part. So this is the library that I have taken from the Postman the collection. That is public API that is available. That is postman-library the glitch.me. This is the actual base URL, and the primary functions of this particular API is just about books library. For example, you have one library where mainly it is that is being used for the keeping the books. Okay, if you go to the library, you have to search it by the particular ID or particular author or particular category, like that. You need to search, or you need to get the books like that. So that is the one. And again, you have to add books to the library, and you need to manage the books by updating that book with respective genre or by author or by ID, or else you have to delete that particular book from the library. This is the typical library API that we have available and can be used for this particular the session. Okay, so these are the three major areas that I have created few the requests so that it can be easily understand. We can generate a test at one go for this particular collection. But before getting into the implementation, first we need to understand what exactly the API reference talk about. So which I have already given overview. That's about the books, mainly for the book management from the library. Okay, so in the if you imagine what happens a typical business scenario in the books library. So what we have to do, what we are going to do as a business transaction is, one is we have to get the books by so and so, or else we have to add books to the library, or else we have to delete, or we have to update the books with the latest information. That's the typical business scenario we see in the book library. So same we have taken and just given the few requests to understand what are the scripts the Postbot is going to generate, and with the positive and negative. Okay, so in the manage books I have given intentionally or invalid IDs, so that the error that API is giving the correct or not, that we have to make a assertion. Okay, this is the regular flow that we are following in the real world business scenarios. Okay, similar kind of pattern that I have implemented over here, so that whoever is new to the API testing side, they can easily get the sense that I'm talking about. So with respect to the Postbot side. Okay, let's switch over to the Postbot and I'll explain this particular collection, how we can generate the test scripts in one go. Okay, so now I'm at Postbot collection, postbot.com. This is the desktop app that I have. So where this is the collection that I have already inherited this particular from the library API reference. That is, I did a fork and I have modified this one. So I just organized the available requests into the in a proper way, so that it can be easily manageable whenever you are working on any of the project, let it be API or anything, any UI automation or any kind of database related. Always follow a standard to the modular format, so that it can be easily tracked and executed whenever the needed, or you can pick the respective features and you can kick off the runs based on your requirements. That how we can with less effort we can achieve the given ask. Okay, for that reason we need to follow a certain process at every technical activity, so that we can handle easily upcoming challenges. That's the principle that I follow, and the same thing I'm just given for you over here. So here I have a book library, but randomly I have not put any of the scripts. I have organized the request based on its function. One is get books, and the second one is the create books, where we need to add the scenarios related to the create. As of now I have only one request I have added, that is a straightforward one, that is post. And delete manage books. Here I have given, here we have to create a number of the script the requests, but as of now I have created two requests with the invalid id, and I wanted to see how the result being validated using the test script. Okay, so if you go over here, click on this one, view complete documentation. The moment when you create the request, the corresponding document that will be created over here. So the first request that we have is get book by id. See here, this is the request. Id is the path parameter that I am using, and this particular API designed in such a way that query instead of query we need to give the path parameter for the id. Path parameter is the one where we have to which is the part of the URL request to get the details. And the next one is the get all books. So this particular request, so you just give the this particular endpoint, that books is the endpoint, so that it will retrieve all the books available in the library. Okay, this is one request. And second request is, the third request is book by invalid id. See, here I have given the invalid id, so I wanted to see the what is the result it is generating. Okay, so in case of invalid id, it has to throw error so and so message. That message has to be validated, or request id has to be validated. Okay, and when coming to this, similarly for invalid param as well. Okay, so that is book request by invalid parameter. And then post, this is the one, this is the the body that I have given for the request to add book into the library. So once it is added, we need to identify what is the request id, the request code it is generated. And there are some other the ways. Once it is posted, we have to get the so and so id. Again we have to query using that id and see the record is generated or not. But as of now, in this particular session, we are only focusing on the generate test, how it is being created, that we are going to see. Then the next is manage books. In manage books, we have designed the two requests. One is delete request by invalid id. If I give the invalid id, what is it is doing? It is going to crash the system, or it is going to appropriately send a message back to the user or not. What is that message in case it is sending back? That we need to validate properly. And then again, one more the path variable that we have is for the update request id. See, if I am giving the update request but I am giving the invalid id, what is the behavior of the API that we need to see over here. Okay, these are the very few the requests that I have planned on this particular endpoint, so that you can get to know how the Postbot is generating the test for this one. Okay, now let's move on to the generating the test for this entire the collection. Okay, so if you click on here on this particular so and so collection, and just click on this more icon, and you will see the generate test. This is the one way. Okay, if you click on this one, it will pop up this particular the screen. Okay, asking you to click off this particular generate test, or else. Okay, now we have to back up this particular screen, and and in the status bar you'll see the Postbot, or else the shortcut is Control Alt P as well. You launch this one. Okay, here also by default this generate test is available. Okay, once you click on this one, see this is the screen is appears asking the user to the hey, are you ready to the create the test? Okay, these are the scripts that I have already explained, right? Suppose this is the project that the requests are available but there is no test, so in the collection it is available. So either you have to go to the each request and create the script extensively. It may take, definitely it may take 1 week of time to complete all these scripts. Validating the required validation, required implementing the required assertions. It will take time, but so we have to test it, and all business teams want it has to be the tested right from the day. In such case, this is the feature that is readily available in the Postbot. If you click on this one, what it does is it sends the request to the server based on the given information in the request, and then based on the response it will generate the test. See here. See here. Here two things you need to understand. One is, okay, get book. This is the positive request and it has sent that one, and it receives. So it is generated the script, not yet generated. It is still in the draft mode only. Okay. The moment when I click yes, then only it will generate. It will generate and saves the test to the particular request. Now you can understand what are the default tests it is created. See, each request to request, there is based on the response it will generate the test. Okay, for example, this is status code. Okay, so the status code, so yeah, you have to ensure that one whether it is properly creating it or not. So there is a certain the techniques and process that I have put on the points in the next session. I'm going to cover that one, but for now, so this is the first step in every API request that we need to ensure that one validation of that particular the request. Okay, this is about the status code, and then what is the step it is generated? Content type header. Yes, this is also one common step that every request that we need to take care. That is, content type is application JSON or not. Okay, depends on your API design that you need to. And then response has the required field. Okay, this is called structural testing. Suppose your API has 10 fields. You need to ensure those 10 fields are available and aligned with the appropriate type. Okay, so here only in this particular structures testing, it is testing only existing of those fields. Okay, response data to be an object, and title should exist, author should exist, ID, genre, and year published should exist, and checkout create date also should exist. These are the fields that are available in the API, and the data will be taken and that will be posted to the database. Okay, so this is one. Okay, and then next is you publish a non-negative integer. So this is by default based on the response it has put the assertions for one of the field, that is number. Okay, so like that automatically it will sense and it will make a intelligence on this particular the response and generate the script. Checkout also boolean value, checked out. Okay, so it has to be boolean value. So by default it has put that particular assertion over here. Like that, for each request it has created the steps, but there is we have given the 4 requests as a invalid, because so it is giving the 404 because I have given the invalid ID. That is the reason. And in this one invalid the parameter that I am giving, that is the reason 400 bad request it is generated. and again here also I have given invalid, that's why it is it has given the 404 not found. In this cases, whether API is returning the, this is the negative case, whether API is returning the appropriate message to the user or not. Okay, for that reason we need to apply the negative test as well. Okay, so now what you have to do is, so yeah, write test with bad response as well. Okay, and this, see here, automatically generated this is. So here how many tests are available? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 tests are available. So if you take for each test manually, if you are writing 3 hours, so 12 hours would be, the 24 hours, one day, 24 hours it will take. Okay, now we have created this using this feature. So we have the created within 5 minutes of time. Now it is still in the draft state. We have not attached these scripts to the request. So this is how we need to take the leverage of generate tests in case of bulk scripts creation in one go. Okay, now I'm doing the save test. Okay, it has given the tests are saved. Okay, if you go over here, see here the scripts, so it is created. Okay, you go here, it is created. Okay, so here, okay, we have created and we have done the everyone will ensure that okay, the job is done, but that's not the end of the job. See, you have generated an output with one AI assistant, and you are the person to ensure that whatever the content it is generated, okay, is meeting the requirements or not. That is one thing. The second one is it is giving the correct syntax. Okay, so the third one is it is exactly whatever the test it is generated, whether it is suitable to my API validation or not. These are the key areas that you need to ensure while while you are reviewing the output of the GenAI assistant. Okay, so I'm talking about the Postbot in terms. So there are a few cases that we have to ensure. One is it is generating the appropriate the syntax or not. The validations that it has mentioned is correct or not, that we need to, and the syntax and the assertions whatever it is implemented, it is appropriate or not, that we need to. Okay, here I'm just here it is giving the one test that is talking about a response has the required fields. So in such case it is putting all the fields are only one field. That code we need to verify. For example, see here, for each it is doing. Okay, if it doesn't have for each, and it has created the just a if loop, that means only one record is validated. Okay, it's not validating only one column field is validated, but it is not validating the all. But in this case here it is implemented for each, that means a loop has been implemented here, and it will go through all the fields and verify existence or not, and then it will represent the result back to the user. Okay, so this is how we can generate. For example, in this, so here we are at here again. Suppose if I click here again, generate test, so it will not it will not allow to create again. Okay, again you have to put a new collection and you have to do it. Okay, so while I'm doing the explore, I have identified a few areas, and I'm going to send feedback to the postman, and might be a they can consider in their feature enhancements. But there are few areas that I have identified. So align with the real world, and we are always good to share our input so that it will come up with a sound product and useful to the customers. Okay, so this is the typical feature that I have picked up in the feature edition one, and this is how we can generate. And if at all you wanted to modify, again you have to go to the there is a separate process that you have to follow, and you need to take the help of Postbot and update your test scripts. But okay, so once it is created 100 scripts, right? So what happens is, now the next stage is I just give you overview. Here you have the runner. Okay, in this one you just drag this one into here. Okay, all will be added at one go. Okay, you just do, there are various ways to run. For now I'm just running them manually so that you can understand. Okay, I'm just clicking on this one. See here, these are the things that available, and see here it is giving the some error. So like that. So this is the one you have created, and you can see here why it is created. It is a invalid date format, so it is that's why it is failed. And then here also created at invalid date format. So whatever the script it is generated, or it is not appropriate, that's why it is failing. Okay, and then if you see here, add the response here in the console also, you can see the request it is created. So these are the request it is patch total, this one it is available. Okay, there are other sessions that I am planning for in detail, so that it is useful for the entry level engineers. They can easily accustom to this particular tool interface, and can the leverage while they are developing the test suite for the designed the request. Okay, so this is about the generate test. Now you can easily run whenever you want, right from the day while this particular feature is under development. Okay. Okay. Now here also you can see whether here it has given the status code as 4 and 4 in this invalid. If you go to here, so you need to ensure whatever whether it is giving you 200 or 404, that you have to ensure, because based on the response that this request has given, based on that one it has generated the script. One is the error. Okay, earlier it is earlier scripts it is 200. Now it is given the 404. Then again the response has the responded fields, the status and message. So it is checking the status and message fields. And then again the status message is non-empty. That means whatever the message it is giving user to that should be non-empty. Okay, and you can put your custom validation whether the error is having this so and so message or not. That you have to do manually do it. Then again content type is JSON. Then again information and user friendly. Okay, response message is information and user friendly. Yeah, object, that is JSON object. Then whatever the message it is giving the string or not, it is checking. Okay, these are the default just it is created. Okay, in order to write this one, again it will take 2 hours of time to understand that particular request. What are the parameters are available, what are the how we can create, one should understand at least basic level of char.js, which is the syntax for the BDD, and this the PM is the object. These are the syntax that you have to understand to write the scripts, but many Gen AI assistants. So you have to know the syntax of the language, and how it is the structure and the scripts being generated, that you should know regularly as on today you are learning. But when coming to the leverage of these Gen AI assistants, it's your job to review the output, finalize it. Okay, without reviewing if it is publishing it to the the suit, that means there may be a chances to the create the inaccurate results while we are doing the testing on the required environments. Okay, so we need to ensure always reviewing the genuine output. Okay, so that's all I have in this the session to talking about the generators for the the part of the feature edition one, and I will catch you in the next session. Thank you.